Hey everybody, the County of Alameda issued a press release which was forwarded to me, and I'm going to read it to you right now on the air. Here it is. Uh, in this look, or this, as you can see, OAC's acquisition of county's interest in Coliseum property on the verge of completion. And it reads like this. The County of Alameda is pleased to report that a deal allowing the Oakland Acquisition Company, LLC, or OAC, or also what you know as the Oakland African American Sports Entertainment Group, to acquire the county's 50% undivided interest in the Oakland-Alameda County Coliseum complex is in the final stages of completion. The Board of Supervisors is committed to closing the deal expeditiously, and county staff have worked tirelessly to move the deal forward on mutually agreeable terms. The parties are down to the final details, and with the cooperation of OAC and Coliseum Way Partners, LLC, the board will take a public vote at an upcoming meeting to seal this transaction. Oakland has already finalized a purchase and sale agreement with OAC for its interest in the property. OAC's acquisition of the county's property interest will achieve two long-standing goals of the county. One, the Oakland-Alameda County Coliseum complex will finally be under the control of a sole owner with the capacity to make unilateral decisions regarding the property. And two, the county will be out of the sports entertainment business, free to focus and rededicate resources to its core safety net mission. In an October 2024 press release from the City of Oakland, the former Oakland mayor described the sale of its 50% interest in the property as an historic achievement, stating that the transaction would, quote, continue to pay dividends for generations to come. The Board of Supervisors is pleased to facilitate single entity ownership of this property, uniquely centered in a corridor of East Oakland that has amazing potential. Quote, the county is committed to bringing its negotiations with OAC to a close, said Board President Dave Halbert. Now, there's one comment I want to make regarding the county and the business of sports and entertainment. The County of Alameda, as I've said publicly and privately to anyone who would or would not listen, was never in the sports and entertainment business. In other words, it never actually owned a team. It never actually owned an organization that was a entertainment service provider. The county has always been in the facilities business during this time. And because it didn't recognize that, the County of Alameda did an awful job of serving its tenants in the sports and entertainment industry. Indeed, the county too often, and the City of Oakland as well, acted as if they had personal vendettas against team owners, referring to them as millionaires, billionaires, in negative terms throughout the decades of the history between the City of Oakland, the County of Alameda, and on the other side, the Oakland Raiders, the Oakland Athletics, and the Golden State Warriors. Each one of these teams has left, and they left for a reason. The one constant is and has been the City of Oakland and County of Alameda. There was a thought that back in 2015, if Oakland was able to go along on its way with the county out of the way, that it could make better decisions. But the County of Alameda and the City of Oakland have worked together in the past to conduct such feats of daring do as bringing the Raiders back to Oakland, a feat a number of people thought was impossible after having lost the Raiders to Los Angeles, because then Oakland Mayor 1979 Lionel Wilson didn't want to add the luxury boxes that Al Davis called for, and believed that the Raiders were bluffing in their move. The Raiders were not bluffing, as history tells us. They were quite serious. had we simply treated the Raiders as we treat any other business that's of even small value, like a drugstore or grocery store that provides services to our residents, the Raiders in their original form would still have been in Oakland. None of this would have happened. But were it not for a series of factors that combined together to cause extraordinarily awful ego-driven behavior among Oakland politicians, we would still have each and every one of our sports organizations. We would have developed our own version of LA Live a long time ago, and this talk of relocation would be something of a joke. But we're not there. Subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube and bookmark OaklandNewsOnline.com. That ends this broadcast. Oh, John Akala. So John says, so when transaction is complete, will AASEG have sole sale over who plays the Coliseum and Coliseum Arena? Yes and no. But yes. In other words, they won't not necessarily have to go to elected officials, but for any item that may come up within a particular deal that involves city and county participation. Like if a bond issue is that involves the use of enhanced infrastructure financing, district legislation, and tax increment financing, you have to involve the city. It's not a private affair. So, and you have to involve the county as well. So it's not a private affair. So from that perspective, they would still, the city and county, be very much involved in, well, really the facility business, but from a financing standpoint. So it's a changing that provides a better focus. I do agree, because my truck with the county city structure was that the ultimate deciders were people who had their focus on something else, and in a number of cases were more interested in getting tickets for events from either the Raiders, the A's, or the Warriors than actually giving any one of those organizations the kind of edifices that those organizations knew they needed to have in order to bring championships, plural, to Oakland, East Bay, and the San Francisco Bay Area region. I'm just being blunt here, because after 30 plus years of being involved and holding my tongue because I worked for X or Y, that has passed. And it really is, and it has been for me for the past, I would say 6 years, a time for truth. We have to tell the truth about how we've been, so we don't act like that again and make those mistakes. We are far too over-politicized. And this structure essentially does take the politicians and put them into a smaller area of the equation, but it doesn't remove them. It gives them an appropriate place. It does give them an appropriate place, but they are not removed entirely. And again, the County of Alameda's job was facilities, maintaining facilities, making sure the facilities were up to date, making sure the tenants in those facilities were happy. It was never in the sports entertainment business. Ever. All right? Okay, I'll see everybody later. Thanks. Hey, 2 thumbs up, please. Thumbs up on the video. And again, subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube if you haven't done so before. Help us reach 100,000 subscribers. You heard me. 100,000 subscribers by year's end, if not before. All right, we'll see you. Hey, John, you got any other questions before I go? Anyone else have a question? I'm happy to answer it before I close this down. After all, this is not a long vlog. So, 30 seconds. Hey, Google, count down 30 seconds, please.
All right, 30 seconds. Starting now.
Right. So, as Google counts down 30 seconds, John says thanks, no more. Okay, anybody else? There's 5 watching. Hey, John, I have a quick question for you. Let me ask you. Do you think that we should go after bringing an NFL team to Oakland. There's my question to you. Hey Google, stop. John, what do you think? I guess he said yes. John said yes. And I agree. And next time we'll talk about just how to get that done. All right. See you later.